Need to go, and we're joined now by Fraser Watson. Hello, Fraser. You okay?
Not too bad, Wes. In mourning in the immediate aftermath, but we'll come on.
Absolutely. And Tom's here as well. Tom, you take it away, my friend.
Yeah. Oh, good afternoon, Fraser. Wales v Iran. It was, I suppose, it was one that people thought would be the easy fixture in the group, but it hasn't been that way.
No, Tommy, in truth, it was a pretty abject display at a time when we needed people to stand up most. Everyone called for the inclusion of Kiefer Moore, and obviously, there's an obvious reason for that. We saw the way it panned out against USA, but we offered really, apart from the one chance, very little threat. We were overrun in midfield for much of that first half, times the second half as well. Didn't get any kind of foothold. And I thought when we did have the ball in the final third, our attacking play, it was frenzied, it was inaccurate, there was nothing concise about it. The fears that we've had for so long for Bale and Ramsey, I think, came to fruition today. Neither are in the game. Ramsey hasn't looked in this tournament, actually. And it was a poor display, and it was a deserved win for Iran, which leaves it almost impossible now to think of Wales qualifying from this group.
I don't know. You never know. England against Wales is a different beast altogether, Fraser, I think. Do you agree that Bale went missing today? Didn't really offer much, did he?
I mean, I think he was in a structure which didn't really support him, but yeah, it's not a comment I can really argue with, to be honest. Whereas he was very ineffective, as I mentioned there, as was Ramsey. And you take that risk with Gareth Bale. Wales have done for a long time now because he goes innocuous for long parts in games, but he does come up with big moments, and to justify including him, you need him to produce those moments. He didn't really produce anything today, so it's a harsh assessment you've given there, but probably a fair one.
Yeah, arguably they got their tactics the wrong way around. So they didn't start with Kiefer Moore against USA, opting for the more athletic Daniel James, but the USA matched him. And then we start with Kiefer Moore against a more physical Iran side, where probably Daniel James getting behind the line would have been more effective.
Yeah, or even a Brennan Johnson. I think it was crying out for both of them, to be honest, Tom, or at least one of them. And where we talk about Ramsey and Bale so much, don't we? We're so preoccupied in Wales focusing on their performances. We have to be honest, Harry Wilson up there was very ineffective as well today. I think, perhaps Brennan Johnson over him would have had much more of an impact. But I think the main thing was we were totally overrun in midfield. Ampadu was left to do a lot of work by himself. He was brutally exposed, really, trying to bridge the gap between defence and midfield. As a result, there were spaces everywhere. So, whether it was selection we got wrong or tactics or approach or performance, it wasn't a good day, it has to be said.
Fraser, do you remember Schumacher for West Germany?
Yeah.
When he came out, that I had visions of that actually when I saw Hennessy go out, and I just thought, what are you doing? Why are you actually? What is that all about, please?
Yeah, I think there'll be a few, such as the modern world, social media have a few vines and a few split pictures later on, if they're not on already, to be honest. Yeah. But look, a lot has been questioned about Wayne Hennessy's inclusion in the starting lineup to the lack of football he played. He made, to be fair, a very good reaction save and a brilliant tip around the post to keep Wales at 0-0. But there's no disguising, it was a horrible moment for him. I thought Williams perhaps had it covered. He rushed out. That was rash. Even then, I think if he maintains his line and simply body checks, then there's the argument that he probably gets away with a yellow card. But to go in with the kung fu style kick and to be that far away from the ball, he left the referee with no option. But it wasn't what cost us the game. I think even though it was 0-0 at the time, we were under the cosh way before that. But it was a poor decision from him. It was rash thinking.
So what do you think to Iran and the way they play? Do you think they're a bit of a surprise package? Do you think they could maybe qualify from the group?
I mean, they came in to this tournament. I say this, I rewind a bit now. You go back 6 months, a year. They were very much one of the underrated teams in this tournament. They were rated 20th in the world. They were for a reason. If you looked at recent results, their form has been very good. I'm not just talking within their own region now. I'm talking worldwide, their results. And they've got a lot of talented footballers. They were always going to be a very tricky proposition. But obviously the turmoil back home, which has had an impact on their own football federation, impact on their national team, and then that result and display against England, and you sense they were a side all over the place. I didn't sense that today. It looks more so much now that England just had the weapons to maybe get in behind them and punish them, whereas Wales didn't. Let's be brutal about that. So, if you told me 6 months to a year ago Iran were going to have a good impact in this tournament, I wouldn't have necessarily been surprised. But given what's happened since and given what's happened in the lead up, then yes, I suppose it has come a bit of surprise. I think we perhaps written them off too soon after that result against England.
Now, I don't want to be like, all doom and gloom and stuff. But they've got one game left. They could beat England. It could happen. But do you think Do you think the dynasty of Bale and Ramsey, do you think that's kind of over now and they've got to look for the future and the younger players and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we see sides. We see Portugal and Ronaldo, perhaps Argentina extent with Messi, don't we? We see players outside perhaps adapt to accommodate players like that, players who are perhaps aging, who don't have the influence they used to, but can produce moments of magic. I think if Bale and Ramsey are going to continue to be regulars, you've got to somehow find a system that benefits them. And you didn't have that today. Bale isolated for long parts up front on his own. Ramsey's, it's premature to say his legs have gone, but certainly hasn't had the energy or those trademark runs in behind defences or surging forward or timed run forwards that we become accustomed to with him. So, I don't want to write them off just yet, Wes. I think it's too easy to say we bring the curtain down on them. Yeah. But I think we certainly got to contemplate now either some kind of adapting system or certainly contemplate to adapting with life without them, because if you look on the evidence of the last two games, that Bale penalty aside, the moment is nearing.
Yeah. And as much as I wish that he put his foot through it like the old John Smith advert, a bit of history being made for Pembrokeshire-born Joe Allen.
Yeah, I mean, we should celebrate that moment for a moment amongst all the doom and gloom, of course. The first Pembrokeshire-born player to appear in a FIFA World Cup, a tremendous achievement for him from what he's come through. And, whilst it won't feel like it right now, in some ways caps a career now, which started out obviously at grassroots here at Narberth, going through Premier School, playing for Tenby, and then going through the system at Swansea, making it to the Premier League, and now appearing in the European and Championships and now a World Cup. So, full credit to him. That moment, you're right, Tom, may haunt him for a while yet, but it was friendly defending from Wales. It was a scramble, and you're right, it was just one of those where he needed to put his foot through and didn't get the substance and the clearance he wanted. But again, we can't single that moment as a Wales defeat today. It was a poor display all round.
Yeah, and so we've got 1 point from the draw the other day. We've got, USA and England play later on. Tonight. And depending on the result that way goes, regardless, Wales need a win against England. Who are you picking and what do Wales need to do to win that match?
Well, assuming England win tonight, just like we assumed Argentina would beat Saudi Arabia and Germany would beat Japan, but assuming England win tonight, it would leave Wales having to win against England to take them to 4 points, and then you're relying, doing my maths here, on an Iran draw or defeat against USA. Goal difference has still come into it. I think, if I do my calculations right now, a Wales win and an Iran draw would send us through a goal difference, providing England win tonight.
Okay.
How we approach beating England, we'll come to that on Tuesday.
Are you playing Bale and Ramsey?
You certainly play Bale. I'm afraid you still do. You still, even for set pieces or nothing else, or for his tendency to produce a big moment, you still play Bale. I would like to think we have the strength of conviction to consider dropping Ramsey. I thought we should have pulled him off today during the second half. I felt if Robert Page had been a bit bolder, he would have done that when he brought Joe Allen on instead of hooking Ampadu. Bale, I still play. Ramsey, I seriously consider dropping.
I've just seen the replay of the Hennessy Kung Fu fighting. When the referee gave me a yellow card, do you reckon he thought, "Whoa, what? I've got away with that one"? How's that happened?
He did a very good job putting his hands on his head when the referee went to the monitors to see what's going on. I'll be honest, Wes, my own optimism when I saw it live, Nico Williams had almost arced his run to cover behind him. So I thought there was the argument there that if he had gone past Hennessy, Williams was still there to make potentially a 50-50 tackle. Yeah. When you slowed it down and saw the nature of the contact, which of course we didn't have the benefit of when Schumacher went on his foray out of his bottle. There was no doubt to it. But yeah, I think he probably originally beat the Sire relief, but with VAR these days, that relief doesn't always last very long. I think, we lament it so much, but it was one that the computer got right.
Yeah. So we've seen probably maybe the best goal of the tournament already last night with Brazil. Richarlison was absolutely amazing. Yeah. And we've seen the worst tackle of the World Cup today. So there you go, getting it in straight away.
And then lastly, Fraser, score predictions for this evening for USA and England.
I thought you were going to ask me for Tuesday then.
Not yet.
Calm down.
I'm about to log off. log off without. I'm not expecting any England slip-ups tonight. I'd go for actually 3-1. I'll be generous to USA, give them a go, but I don't expect any England slip-ups tonight. I'll be honest.
Fair enough. Fraser Watson. Yeah. Fraser Watson of the Pure Sports Show on a Monday evening with Eden Evans and Morris. Thank you so much for joining us here on the daytime show. What was the score, Wes? I can't say it.
Are you going to cry?
I am, yeah.
Tom's going to... Actually, he's going to cry in the studio, which is sad.
Yeah.
Fraser's crying.
Yeah, we're all crying.
Wales lost 2-0.
Shows we're live.
Yeah. We've got Paul McCartney, Aurora and Bucketheads on the way. It's 18 minutes past 12 o'clock. Thank you, Fraser.
Cheers, bud.
Thank you, boys.
Feel Good Friday with Pems Paving. Your one